Hi guys, it's Kelly from Cards by Christine here with you on a Technique Thursday to talk to you about paper conservation and to show off some really cool cards. So I have always been a fan of autumn and fall. So Ringed with Nature naturally was just like a heaven sent. I loved it. It was beautiful. And we're kind of doing a little bit of a throwback thing. Not really. I mean, it's still all current, but it just feels like we've stepped away from autumn. And it's great. These cards are so pretty. You're gonna love them. And I can't wait to show them to you. So we are going to look at all these cards. Oh, and I did almost get them all in. So, I just want to share with you how strategically designed they are. And oh my goodness, I'm frozen again. Okay, so I pre-recorded this last week. So I'm wearing the same thing, and that's why I'm still congested. And when I did the first video, the forward-facing camera was giving me a hard time. And I cannot believe that it isn't working again. This is so bizarre. Oopsies. Let's slow down for a second. We got this. So let's do a little clicky. And we should be back in business. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Okay, so I was a little derailed there, so I don't know exactly where my train of thought was. But basically, these cards are beautiful. They're stunning. And just like last week, we've got a great emphasis on how ribbon can elevate cards. So I'm just going to first walk you through each of the cards so you can just see them in their full glory. And then we'll talk about our paper conservation and some of the tips and tricks that went into designing these cards. So pretty. Just like the cards we talked about last week, we are using two different styles of ribbon and really elevating the cards through the use of ribbon. All right, and then here is our Christmas card, which is so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can get these all in the frame for you because we're going to talk about how these cards all relate to one another. So, first, we've got our Christmas card. Features a beautiful poinsettia and the Picture This die. So the Picture This die is actually on this particular card, if you can see it. This layer is a standard mat that then has the Picture This dies die cut out of them. Now, I will say this. For this particular layer, you're going to get this all die cut out already because that is just one of the great things about Chris's fantastic classes. So you don't need to think this through, but basically, here we have the Picture This dies. Comes with squares and rectangles and circles. Obviously, here we're using the rectangles. And then what I am so just like, oh my gosh, great job, guys. Each of these pieces are not junk. They are then used here and here and here for the sentiments on our other cards. So strategic. But what I was going to say is, and of course, like I was saying before, you don't need to think this through because your sets are going to come all prepared for this. But essentially, this mat gets die cut first, and then the mat gets embossed. Because otherwise, all of these layers as well would be embossed, and that would be really hard to stamp on. So, cut, then emboss, which of course makes sense because if you were embossing and then cutting, your embossing would flatten out when you send it through to get cut. But just thought I would point that out. So, that is one thing. that really ties all of these cards together is how the pieces are supplementing the other pieces of your card. Also, on some of these big mats, you can absolutely, and no one will ever know, die cut this piece. Now this is using the deckled rectangles. I don't know. Is that how it's said? Like, I have never said that word before, and I don't know if that's right or wrong, but deckled rectangles. So now this piece absolutely can be cut out of this mat piece because you're going to put a piece of DSP right on top and no one knows what secrets you're hiding down there. So save yourself the paper and die cut out of your mat pieces. Okay, so there's another paper conservation tip. And then, let's see here. There was that. There was the picture of this dies. I feel like we used one more die set that I wanted to call out in here. Oh my goodness, I'm going on a blank. Let's see here, I didn't turn that page. Bear with me. Ring with Nature, that was what I was talking about next, but I thought there was another one on here that I was, talk long enough and the ideas come to you. So on this layer, or excuse me, on this card, I'm gonna take some of the clutter away. I contemplated this being your technique today, but I figure why not layer it all in? So this is the floating frame technique. This is die cut. As you can see, it's not just a cut layer because it's got the cut out frame, but it also has some embossed portions to it. So it's got 2 stripes and a bunch of speckly dots on it. So that is from the Fabulous Frames die set. A lot of great dies in here, but that floating frame is beautiful. And to really get the emphasis on it, you definitely could just glue it down. I'm gonna really struggle to show this to you, but essentially the whole frame is stilted up on dimensionals, which really in person takes this card to a whole nother level. That is also where, so you cut this piece out and now this entire middle navy piece is absolutely available to utilize for cutting other pieces out. So you could get this deckled rectangle out. You could probably get this strip of navy out. So you really can pull this whole set of cards together utilizing a lot of unique paper conservation tips. Then the last thing I wanted to talk about, move that one out of the way. Ringed with Nature. So this bundle is a hybrid embossing folder bundle. So it comes with an embossing folder, it comes with some dies, and there's a whole suite around it. We've got the DSP, there's stamps too. So anyways, your set of dies nestle right in the embossing folder to emboss and cut at the same time. If you've never seen the process, it's fascinating. And we did highlight that. If you search hybrid embossing folder, you'll find the video if you need a better explanation of what that is. But essentially, what we have here is with the 2 sets of dies, you cut out the outer ring of the tree slice. I think they call them coins, which is darker. It's bark. It's the bark around the edge of the tree, so it's darker. So then there's a second set of dies that are more of the meat of the tree ring. That would be lighter to give that illusion of a tree coin. But those pieces also create a very organic, a beautiful organic looking shape for your sentiments, which we are utilizing here and here. So I just wanted to point out some of the ways in which these cards were designed to really work as a set for our paper conservation efforts, but also how they're all uniquely and so intuitively designed to utilize things in a way you never thought before, or get you to use something that you haven't used before. You know, I do this all the time. I buy something, I love it. It is so pretty. This speaks my language. This is amazing. But then it sits. Sometimes you just need that, and now I can talk to you. Sometimes you just need that extra little push to get outside of your comfort zone, or to really think something through and make something beautiful. So we're here to do the thinking for you so you can just make. So we'll take one more peek at the cards. This is the Ringed with Nature card class. It is coming up in early January. Go ahead and reach out to Chris to reserve your sets. They are stunning. I wish I could show you all of the minute details in person. In person, these cards just really, they're beautiful. They are so stunning. So definitely go ahead, get yourself on the list to participate. You will not be disappointed. And now you have a little bit of a background on what you're doing. So you'll be like the star students in the class, because you'll already have the leg up on knowing some of these things. I'm just kidding. Like I said, I'm still kind of muddling through this congestion, which has taken me down a couple notches, but hopefully I'll be back in business soon. So there's that. And then we have our beautiful poinsettia card, which is, I mean, this guy is like on stilts. It's so pretty. But this is kind of the originator of the whole thing, because this is the picture this dies, and really what got me thinking down the avenue of, we need to talk about this. This is really cool. So I'm going to lay these all back out, and then I'm going to talk to you. So this is a card class that features 6 beautiful cards. All the details can be found on the website under events, or you can absolutely reach out to Chris, and she'd be happy to help you get signed up and answer any questions that you have about our Ringed with Nature class. So I hope you have a wonderful Technique Thursday, and you can catch Chris later tonight